Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. So today in this video we will discuss the central tendency. What is central tendency? How does it work for us in research? And how to calculate the central tendency. So let's define the central tendency. For research purposes, the data arrangement and frequency distribution is not enough, especially when we require compare different data sets. Generally we get the frequency distribution, we use the graphical representations, but when we have to compare the different data set, which is generally we use in research, so we need that's center values. So from there we can conclude about the two different data sets. So data can be arranged in a single value, that's a single value which represent all the data set. Such values lie somewhere in the center of the data set and provide representation for all data set. So that center value is representing all the data set. Now the tendency of this all information towards the center value, this whole process is known as a center tendency, and that single value is known as a center value. uh, that's actually the introduction to the center tendency, that what is the center tendency. So this is actually a process when we get a single value which the all data set is represent. So that process is known as a center tendency. Now we will discuss here that what is the measures of the center tendency, because we need some mathematical rules so they can find for us the center values. So first of that, which is very famous and very broadly used, and they provide us himself for further mathematical treatment for statistical process, that arithmetic mean, and simply it is known also mean. The second is median. That's we using when we have outliers in data, we have abnormal information. So in that situation, a median is providing a more accurate result as compared to the arithmetic mean. The third is mode, which we use mostly in qualitative data, because in arithmetic mean we need numerical data, because it have a mathematical formula, and in that formula we have to put uh, the numerical values. But in situation when we have qualitative research, especially in the field of social sciences and medical sciences, so in that situation mode is providing a more accurate result as compared to arithmetic mean and median. The fourth is a geometric mean, and the fifth is a harmonic mean. So these are the measures of center tendency, and these mathematical equation help us to find out the center value of a data set. Now come to the satisfactory average criteria. So this is an criteria that which average will be the best one. So first of that's carefully defined, that's very clearly defined, that the information is more explainedly represents. And the second is easy to understand and interpret. That's also one of the criteria of the satisfactory average. The third is use all information of dataset, as all information of dataset possessed uh, some importance of the data set. So this is also important, that any data set which use all the information of data set, so that's will be a satisfactory average, that will be a good average. The third is can be obtained through some mathematical treatment. This is also one of the merit of the satisfactory average. If we have a mathematical equation where we can put our information, then we can find out the average. So that's also one of the satisfactory average criteria, and the fourth is provide admissibility for further use. This is also one of the importance, and if we compare all of the five averages, that's the measures of certain tendency. So the best one among all of them is arithmetic mean, because it provide him admissibility for further use, and they have many application and in many statistical techniques further its use, and less influenced by outliers or abnormal observation, because in some data we have very abnormality, some information is very highly influenced and some is very lowly influenced. In that situations, when we have abnormal observation outliers, so in that situation it remains stable, there is a stability in that, so the results cannot be so much affected. Okay, now we come to the arithmetic mean. Just simply we define a very simple, that's in simple words, arithmetic mean obtained by dividing sum of all values dividing by total number of values. So this is the very basic definition of arithmetic mean, which mathematically we write as x bar is equal to summation x divided by n. So sum of x, summation x is actually representing the sum of all the values, and n is the sample size that represent the number of all values. While in case of frequency distribution, the mean is defined as that's x bar is equal to, that is the product of the f and x, where f is the frequency and x is the values, that the variables. And in such a situation, because we have organized the data in frequencies, so the sample size, that the total values which exist in the that's frequency distribution are in that data set, or we can find from f. So n is equal to sum of f. Okay, now we just come towards the weighted arithmetic mean, which is very important in the business statistics. So we are using where we have the importance need, the weights needs, like in domestically food have more importance in our life, and if we come next to the food, then the medical we need more importance in our life, we give more weights to that's the medical treatment, that's and the third is if we come towards like the clothes, and that's your use some domestic requirements, and then you go towards the rent of house. So this every commodity you have an importance of your life, so some have more importance and some have less importance. So in if w represent weight of corresponding commodities x, then it defined as, that's actually xw in subscript, that's known as weighted arithmetic mean x, that's sum of xw and divided by sum of w, that's the weights, that's the importance which we conclude along with the variables. uh, so now let's see, this is an example, a very simple example, that's summation x is equal to 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, that's an example 25, and n is equal to 5 observations, and we have to find the arithmetic mean. So just sum of the all observations, that 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 and plus 7 is equal to 25, and we have 5 observations, so 25 divided by 5, so x bar is equal to 5, that's actually our center value. So this is an representing the all data set, that some observation may be less than, some observation may be more than, some will be exactly equal to 5, but it's mean that most of our data set is close to the 5 values. If we have that's ungrouped data, this is an example of ungrouped data, and now we come to the example of group data. Now in group data, what's happened, we have many information, we have many values, so we group that data, like this. Okay, so now in the first group we have 6 values, 6 observations, and the second group we have 6 observation, the third we have 10 observation, and the fourth we have 8 observation, and the fifth we have 9 observations. So in some cases, and practically when we do our research, we have many observations, so we need to condense our data. So we use the frequency distribution for this purpose, and so our data can be represented just from one table. Okay, so now how to find the mean in case of group data, that's frequency distribution. So now we go towards the solution of this example. Now let's see here. This is like the group, the first. The second is the frequency. Now what we have to do, 10 plus 6 divided by 2. So 16 divided by 2, x value, we need a single value x. So 6 plus 10 divided by 2, and that will be 8, and 11 plus 15 divided by 2 is 13, and 16 plus 20, that 36 divided by 2, 18, and carry on. So we will find by this way from group x. And now what we need, that's the equation, we need the product of the if x. Okay, now what we do, we multiply the f in x column. So 6 multiplied by 8 is 48, 6 multiplied by 13 is 7, 8, 10 or 18 is 180, 8 or 23 is 184, and 9 and 28 is 252. Okay, now just leave, we will just look at, we have leave the two columns, that group and x, because we don't need the sum of the total of these values. We have just sum the if column, that is the total is in, and we have sum of the if x column, we needed that 742. Okay, now just look at x bar is summation fx divided by n. So we have found already summation fx is equal to 742, and n is the total number of observation, that's 39, and this is the center value, that's 19.2, that 19.02. so this is the center value, represents uh, the all data set. So thank you very much for watching video. This is the part one, because in center tendency we need to learn more. That's very important field. So please subscribe for watch more video. Thank you very much.